Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's continue our game of The Legend of Heroes Trails to Azure running on Nintendo Switch. I know, there are some other new games that came out today, but I do want to start with this one. Normally I start with the new games, but I know if I get in that rabbit hole, I'll never finish this game. Let's see now. Where's that busted Crossbell city? Geez, transfers are so bothersome. Situation normal. Our security arrangements for the trade conference are 100% foolproof. Yeah, okay. Deputy Commander Douglas was once relegated from the CGF to the police academy, where he stayed for a long time. It was Commander Bales who requested that he be reinstated into the Guardian Force. I think she made a wonderful decision. We're all glad to have the Deputy Commander back. There you are. Oh. Reporting for duty, Deputy Commander. As you were, Sergeant Major Seeker. How's your transfer to the SSS treating you? I'm learning more and more every day, sir. Glad to hear it. I'm confident your experience with them will prove most useful to you in the future. Keep at it. Noel, would he happen to be... Ah, where are my manners? I haven't given you a proper introduction yet. I'm Douglas, the recently appointed Deputy Commander of the Crossbell Guardian Force. I've heard all about your group from Commander Bales. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Pleased to meet you too, sir. He certainly looks the part. Ah, you seem like you've been holding up pretty well, Duggo. Same to you, Randy. Thank you for your help retraining the guardsmen at Belgard Gate. Oh, and Lloyd, it's good to see you again. You made quite the name for yourself solving that cult incident. It's good to see you too. I was pretty surprised to hear my old instructor had become the new deputy commander. The memories of being put through the ringer by Douglas the Demon came rushing back to me. Hey now, those days are behind me. No sense in bringing up my old nickname. I'm a grown man. It's embarrassing. He must have been a notoriously strict instructor at the police academy to have earned that moniker. At any rate, let's leave the past in the past. I summoned you here today for business, not to catch up. That's right, something about a training exercise, right? Precisely. The goal of this exercise is for us, the CGF, to beat some combat sense into you, the SSS. We'll see if you have what it takes to survive through my special program. Wait, the training isn't for the guardsmen, but for us? The guardsmen will gain valuable experience from it too, naturally. I've already hashed it out with the CBD's top brass. On paper, this is an official joint training exercise. So what you're telling me is we got dragged out here for a combat drill, not a support request. Haha, work is work, would you say? My men are ready to begin at any time. The only thing we're waiting on is you. It may be wise for us to use this chance to prepare beforehand, then. I would recommend checking our Enigma 2s. Or we could begin immediately for which will be. Let's do it. We're good to go. Excellent. Oh, and Sergeant Major Seeker, I don't want to see you holding back against your fellow guardsmen, understood? Facing off with your old comrades might teach you a thing or two. Yes, sir, yes, sir. We'll start at once, then. Meet me in the parking lot outside, special support section. Now, let us begin the Douglas Method training program. Are both sides ready? We guardsmen are prepared, sir. Same goes for the special support section. Very good. The rules are as follows. In the upcoming fight, the SSS is prohibited from utilizing arts of any kind. Wait a moment. Only we're not allowed to use arts? Doesn't that put us at a major disadvantage? So, this is the Douglas method I've heard so much about, huh? Indeed. This exercise is meant to test your prowess at fighting under adverse conditions. By ripping you out of your comfort zones, I aim to teach you to adapt to the unexpected. I'm starting to understand why they call this man a demon. This should spice things up, at least. I suppose we don't have any choice but to comply. More comments, I take it? In that case, everyone, to your positions. Sir, yes, sir. Our opponents are trained guardsmen, and to make matters worse, we can't use any arts. Stay sharp, SSS. We'll find a way to overcome this hurdle. Understood. Begin.
敵接近迎撃を開始します。私の
やれやれ。
はいはいや
行くぞ。
私や行きますそこ
さてと。それ、ありがとう。よし。俺の番。やれやれ。
行きます
任せてくれ。
え
僕の番か。よし。さてと、行くよ。出直してきなよ。
Enough. Yeah, not bad. Even without arts, you guys are pretty tough. We managed to survive that one. There have been instances in the past where I ran out of EP in the middle of battle, but not being able to utilize arts from the start is a true challenge. I wonder if this is how the Liberalians, right, because they're from liberal, Liberalians felt during the orbital shutdown phenomenon a little over a year ago. You managed to clear Stage 1 of the Douglas method. Moving on to Stage 2, you will now have to fight without the use of crafts. You telling me there's more? And now we can't even use crafts? Oh, I'm sure the storied SSS can figure out some way to manage. Consider this another opportunity to gain valuable experience. Now buck up and take a crack at it. This is taking things a little far, Deputy Commander. All right, guardsmen, up and at 'em. Both squads, prepare for combat. Yes, sir. Not being able to use crafts is going to be rough, but we can use arts to our advantage this time. Let's combine them with our regular attacks to pull through. Good thinking. Begin. I don't even need to use crafts. Just use regular attacks. Still be pretty effective. All I have is aerial. Oh, there you go. That's something, I guess. Oh, what the hell? Jesus. Wasting turns. Was that death? What is that? I thought that was petrify. Is that seal? No. Seems like that's petrify. Why can't I? Was it seal? No. Enough. Are they for real? How are they this strong? Whew, that was just as tough as I imagined it would be. You're right, it made me appreciate just how important crafts are when it comes to combat. The important parts that we've got through it in one piece. So, how was that, you hard ass? Impressive, actually. It seems you've become quite a fighter, Orlando. That being the case, you should have no qualms with moving on to Stage 3 of the Douglas method. On your feet, guardsmen. Assume final training positions. Yes, sir, yes, sir. He doesn't mean... Are we about to find out how you earned that nickname? Douglas the Demon. If he really is the CGF's strongest guardsman, then we're in for a heck of a fight. Be careful, everyone. We can't afford to let our guards down, even for an instant. Haha, you've really grown into your leadership role, haven't you, Lloyd? That's what I like to see. Now let us conclude our training program with one last cumulative assessment. Use everything at your disposal to bring me to my knees. If you can, that is. Now you're speaking my language. Here we come.
行きましょう皆さん。
わかった。
Jesus.
やれやれ。僕の番。よし。まだまだいける。
We did it. That's impossible. Even the deputy commander couldn't beat them? Good effort. What the hell? He looks like we barely made a dent in him. You're as tough as ever, Duggo. Oh, I'll be feeling it tomorrow, don't you worry. The only upper hand I've ever truly had in battle is my stamina. How modest of you. Too modest, Deputy Commander. I'd tip my hat if I had one. Regardless, this officially concludes our training program. Back to your post, Guardsman. Yes, sir. Good work, SSS. You've done well. Well, let's not loiter around out here. We can continue our conversation back in my office. Right. Thank you again for agreeing to our training exercise. I think the Guardsman gained a lot of valuable experience today. It was a pleasure, Deputy Commander. The SSS learned a lot, too. Damn, though, Duggo, you sure haven't softened up with age. That took me back to the beatdown you gave me during my first training exercise. I can tell you've been making strides since then, Orlando. You've even mastered the stun halberd tricks I taught you. Sure have. Now they've been incorporated into the Randy School of Hard Knocks, complete with extra style and flair. So the Deputy Commander was the one who taught you how to use a stun halberd. You must owe him quite a lot, Randy. Well, Orlando here refused to wield a rifle, so I decided to focus his training elsewhere. It paid off. He was able to make a name for himself at Bellegarde with just a stun halberd. The former commander didn't take too kindly to that, though. As a matter of fact, he despised you for it. You know how it is. Rules and I have never mixed well. Luckily, the SSS is way more my speed, so the transfer worked out. And we have the Deputy Commander here to thank for that, for better or worse. Sounds like shipping you off to the police academy was a real fatal case of mismanagement. The only reason it happened was because the former commander was in charge, up until his dismissal after the cult incident. The fact that the Guardsman had so much trust and respect for Deputy Commander Douglas probably didn't help matters. There's no need to talk me up, though I'm inclined to agree that he saw me as an eyesore. After I was moved to the police academy, I focused on nurturing talented young people who could reform our corrupt organization. In retrospect, maybe all of it turned out for the best. I was able to make an impact on further guardsmen and police officers before they could be tainted by the system. That's fair, but I still think you were way too strict back then. You even made Franz cry a few times. Haha, I nearly forgot about that. Would you say it was worth it in the end, though? Anyway, a lot's happened since those days, and one way or another, I'm back with the CGF. That makes us colleagues working together to protect the future of Crossbell State. Indeed it does. We'll have to make sure that we pull our weight. The SSS still has much to learn, so your patience is very much appreciated. There's no need to be modest. All of you are more than capable enough. You've been doing a stellar job making old Sergei's crazy idea pay off, I'd say. Old Sergei? You mean you've met our chief? Met him? A bit more than that. I owe a lot to him and Sonia for everything they've done for me in the past. The least I could do was help set them up before they got married. Married? Commander Bales and Chief Sergei? Well, this is a twist. Whoa, back up a sec. You can't just drop a bombshell like that out of nowhere. Did they never tell you? And then again, as it has been about 5 years since the divorce. Those were busy times. Sergei was demoted around the same time Sonia moved up. Now I'm starting to get it. They hit the kind of rough patch only two married professionals can have. Commander Bales was... I had no idea. I always did get sort of a weird vibe whenever they were around each other. I guess this solves that mystery. Would you all get it together? Seriously, have some respect. I can't blame them for being curious, though. Maybe I shouldn't have let that one slip. Just so we're clear, you didn't hear any of this from me. Better yet, you never heard any of it at all. In any case, thank you for your participation today. I'll put in another request if you think of any more ways we can collaborate. Sure, we'll be looking forward to it. Alright. So they're mirroring some of the quests that we did in the first game. Although we did this training one quite a bit later in the game, in the first game. Yeah, I was about to say, where's the bus station? I'll take the bus back. Is there something else I need to do out here? I don't think so. I think the next thing we do is in, is at the hospital. Yeah, that's the opposite end. Opposite end of the map. And like I said, we'll walk there at least once so we can get some experience. Money and experience. Which you don't get in a car. Oh, that's the airport, that's right. I don't know why I always mistake the airport for a normal route. Of course, we already walked through this once before, kind of by mistake, really, but won't hurt to get more experience. Yeah, I wonder what the cap is. I guess I should look it up and see how far along we are. Really, fast battle should be available for every RPG. I swear, it's so convenient. Especially in a game where you do a lot of grinding. Which, most RPG players don't mind grinding. I'm not like super fond of it. It really depends on how fast-paced the combat is. If the combat's really fast-paced, then I don't have as many objections to a fair amount of grinding. Like a modern Dragon Quest game is pretty fast in combat. This game with the high-speed mode is tolerable as well. If I had to play this all in regular speed, I don't know if I would have the patience for it. But being able to use the speed up option for a traversal, or for anything, for a traversal, for fighting, it really makes the adventure breeze by a lot better. I can't imagine playing this on the original Vita and just without all these quality of life enhancements. I mean, that would have been quite a pain. It's definitely not a game set up for portable play. It's like long sessions of gameplay.
よし上出来だ
Of course, the real goal is to get strong enough where
せいや
you can just defeat these enemies on the field without having to go into a battle screen,
一気に行くぞまあまあだったね
which is a pretty nice feature, especially when you're significantly higher level than the enemies around you. Just get the resources from them, and that's it. Move on.
一気に
You don't even make
任せてくれ
the player fight every single battle over and over again. Speaking of which, I guess I do want to start a Phantasy Star 4 playthrough,
みんなチャンスよ
which ran on the Mega Drive or Genesis, depending on
悪いな
what region you lived in.
先に行かせてもらうよ
So I think I'll start that Sunday, and we'll do that weekly as part of Retro Sundays.
せいや
I imagine that one's going to take quite a while, because it's a pretty beefy adventure.
なんとかなったわね
But it is also a absolute ton of fighting and grinding. So much so that
一気に行くぜ
they made it so you can create macros in the game
よし
to handle different kinds of fighting scenarios, which is probably not the right way to handle combat balance.
任せて
Like, if you have to program macros into your game because of the amount of fighting that is done, then maybe rebalance the game. So I don't know. Like I said, I've always wanted to get all the way through it, and I think we're in a pretty good position to do that. I can play it on my Mister.
さあ
We can overclock the system and increase the number of sprites, and that'll take care of some of the performance issues that game had.
このクロスベルを
And of course, more importantly, the ability to have save states, especially in a game like that where the save points were or are not generous.
奇襲成功チャンスです
俺の番だ
But don't worry, we won't be doing any saves coming in. It'll just be to save the game,
行くぞ
not necessarily to replay battles over and over again
みんな
until you get the perfect RNG. Never really been that kind of a gamer.
よし一気に行くぞ
私のそこそこ
やれやれ任せてくれそれ
私のやはいはあ皆さんお疲れ様でした
Wait, where am I going?
みんなチャンスよ
もらったまあまあだったね
みんなチャンスよ
俺の番だよしもう大丈夫だえいとえいで
みんなチャンスよ
もらったまあまあだったねやっと
Also want to do a couple of Westwood point-and-click adventures, mainly the Carandia games.
せいで
I mean, they're kind of hard to look at nowadays, but
一気
I think
に
they're still kind of
任せてくれ
fun to play, little quick, point-and-click kind of games,
行くよ
point-and-click adventure
よ
games.
し
私のや行きますや
Like, we're seeing a small resurgence of that kind of gameplay, but it certainly wasn't, certainly not to the same degree that the heyday of PC gaming and point-and-click adventure games.
せい
奇襲成功チャンスです
俺の番だ
そこ私のやこの調子で行きましょう
I Was it my sister? No, is my sister blonde? Yeah, with the curly hair.
セシルね。いき
Oh,
な
never
り
mind.
会えたな。
おかえりなさいロイド。
Oh, I guess her hair's brown.
エリーさん、ランディ君やノエルさんもみんな元気にしてたかしら。ご無沙汰してます。
お久しぶりっす、セシルさん。
本当に久しぶりですね。私とは教団事件で病院が襲撃された時にお会いして以来でしたっけ。そうだったわね。
へえ、この人が噂のお姉さんかい？
あら、見かけない子もいるみたいだけど、もしかしてノエルさんとあなたが噂の新メンバーになるのかしら。
そういうことになるかな。僕はワジヘミスフィア。今後ともよろしくお願いするよ。
よろしくね。それじゃあ私の方も改めて自己紹介させてもらおうかしら。このウルスラ病院に勤める看護師のセシル・ノイエスです。私の可愛い弟のロイドをどうかよろしくお願いしますね。
セシルねってば、厳密には兄弟じゃないだろう。子供の頃から何かとお世話になっている人なんだ。
もうロイドったら照れちゃって。
照れてるわけじゃないって。
それにしてもワジ君もノエルさんもとっても美人よね。ロイド、そろそろお付き合いする相手は誰か決まったのかしら。お付き合い？
セシルね、前にも言ったけど支援課はそういうのじゃないから。
そうよね。私としたことが配慮が足りなかったわ。今この場にティオちゃんがいないのにそういう話をするのも不公平よね。ティオちゃんが帰ってきてからゆっくりとパートナーを選んで。
だからなんでそうなるんだよ。
なんだかセシルさんを見ると安心するわね。
おお、天然ぶりも健在みたいだしな。
突っ込む側の身にもなってくれ。
それにしてもそんなに長い間離れていないのに随分と懐かしい気がするわね。ちょうど私も休憩時間なの。よかったら一緒にお茶でもどうかしら。
それじゃあせっかくだし、みんなお言葉に甘えさせてもらおうか。
はい、ご一緒させていただきます。それじゃあティオちゃんはもう少しの間帰ってこられないのね。
ああ、いろいろと忙しいみたいでさ。きっと今頃レマン自治州で頑張ってるんじゃないかな。
そっか。それじゃあ会えるのが楽しみね。帰ってきたらいろいろと土産話を聞かせてもらわないと。
そうだね。ティオもきっとセシル姉に会えたら喜ぶと思うよ。なんだよ二人とも。
いや、噂には聞いてましたけど本当に仲がいいんですね。
なかなか間に入れなくてちょっと焼けるね。あのな。
こいつはこれだからよ。普通こんなお姉さんと 子供の頃から知り合いってだけでもとんだらき野郎だっつうのに。
ほんとその通りよね。それを当然だと思ってたらいつか罰が当たるわよ。
意味わかんないから。
そういえばつい話し込んじゃったけど、今日は何の用で病院に来たんだったかしら。
そうだった。実はセイランド教授っていう人から支援課に依頼が来てたんだ。
確か薬学神経科の公認の方が来られたんでしたね。
ええ、そうなの。ヨアヒム先生が得体の知れない薬を作っていたことが公表されて、病院は一時騒然としていたわ。教授たちはしばらく仕事の傍らアフターケアに奔走していたけど、最近になってようやく患者さんの信頼を取り戻せてきたの。
そりゃあ大変だったっすね。
おかげさまでなんとかなったわね。あの事件の傷跡も癒えてきて、ようやくウルスラ病院は新しい一歩を踏み出したわ。その一環として新しくレミフェリアから呼ばれたのがセイランド教授なの。あの有名な医療機器メーカーセイランド社の関係者ですね。ええ、創業者の親戚筋にあたるはずよ。女性の方なんだけど雰囲気が凛としていて、
おお、ジョイ先生っすか。こりゃ期待大だぜ。
雰囲気はともかく。なるほど、今度は身元もバッチリ保証されてるわけだね。
教授というからには腕も確かなのかな。
レミフェリアでも有名な薬学神経科の研究者みたい。ついこの間も重い病気で入院していたミハイル君の手術を見事に成功させたのよ。今はしずくちゃんの手術に向けて準備を進めているのよね。
しずくちゃんの。
そうか、確かにすごい先生みたいだね。そのセイランド教授だけど今どこにいるかわかるかな。
ええ、大抵研究棟の研究室にこもってるわ。受付でサラさんに言えば取り継いでもらえると思う。せっかくだからそこまで一緒に行きましょう。
ああ、助かるよ。
はいはい、そうです。それではよろしくお願いします。セイランド教授にも確認が取れました。すぐに研究棟の部屋に来るようにとのことです。
ありがとうセラさん。
助かります。
それじゃあみんな休憩もそろそろ終わるし、私はこれで失礼するわね。
ああ、いろいろありがとう。
お世話になりました。
どういたしまして。それじゃあこれからもいろいろと大変だと思うけど頑張ってね、ロイド。
ああ、そっちもね。
常々憎たらしいやつだなお前は。頑張ってねロイド。だってよ。
別にハートマークはついてなかっただろ
そんなことを言って少し残念なんじゃないのかい。噂の熱いハグも今回は見られなかったみたいだし。
ああ、そういえば。そんなことを。
なあ、もういいからさっさと教授のところに行こう。研究棟は病院の屋上から、薬学研究室は研究棟の4階。
やれ勢いでごまかしちまってな。
これだからからかいがいがあるよね。
聞こえてるぞそこ。
No, I'm so glad they put the release of this game, fairly close to the release of the last game. They didn't wait too long in between releases.
すみません。失礼します。
Because a lot of this layout and characters are pretty fresh in our memory, since it wasn't really that long ago that we finished the first game in the series.
入りたまえ。
ようやく来たようだな。予想していた時刻より約2分オーバーだが、まあ優秀と言って良さそうだ。
なんだかおっかなそうだな。美人には違いないが。
まあとりあえずこっちに来てくれ。この距離では話がしにくいのでな。
そうですね。
あなたがセイランド教授ですね。グノーシスの成分の分析結果が出たとのことでしたが。
悪いが、その前に頼みたいことがあるのだ。君たちにはまずそちらを先に片付けてもらいたいのだが。
依頼に出されていた件だね。グノーシスの分析結果を渡してもらってからではダメなのかな。
今回の分析結果にも関わるから先に片付けておきたいのだ。というのも、グノーシスの被害に遭った患者たちに関係あることでな。
なるほど、そうでしたか。
わかりました。先にそちらを渡らせていただきます。依頼内容をお聞かせ願えますか。
君たちに頼みたいのは問診票の回収だ。例の教団事件の後、病院はグノーシス被害者のアフターケアに力を注いだ。ほとんどの患者の処置は一通り終わったのだが、最後に書いてもらった問診票を何名かの患者が提出していなくてな。
なるほど。確かに分析結果にも関わりそうですね。
迅速にお願いしたい。問診票が返ってきてない患者たちは3名だ。まずクロスベル市旧市街に住む少年ディーノ。次に劇団アルカンシェルのアーティストニコル。そしてクロスベル警備隊ベルガード門勤務の隊員クレス。以上の患者に事情を話し、問診票を回収してきてほしい。
なるほど、知った名前ばかりみたいだな。旧市街とアルカンシェルの2人は街で探せばすぐ見つかるだろう。クレス先輩も多分ベルガード門の食堂で飯でも食ってるところだろうし。
ああ、早速行ってみるとしよ
う。ではよろしく頼んだぞ。回収が終わったらもう一度ここに報告に来てくれたまえ。その時グノーシスの分析結果について改めて話をさせてもらうとしよう。
Okay. Basically, all three corners of the map in all different places. Sometimes when I work up here, I pick up juicy little tidbits from the residents while they're on their lunch breaks. There's been a bit of tittle-tattle surrounding Dr. Salen right now, as it so happens. I haven't spoken with her myself, but I do wonder what kind of person she really is. Ilya and Rixia are incredible. Will I ever be able to perform the way they do? Welcome everyone, it's wonderful to see you today. Are you looking for Ilya perhaps? She and Rixia should be on stage with the troop leader. I am not. The Westermere Trade Conference begins tomorrow. It has me somewhat nervous actually. International gatherings of this scale aren't too common in Crossbell. There's still a day to go, but I can already feel myself tensing up. Well, that's only natural. After all, we're not going to have your typical audience in here tomorrow. But all of you should be experts at performing under pressure by now. Have a little more faith in yourself. Corellia. She's right, Celine. All that worrying is only going to make you hungry. Speaking of which, do you want to snack together? Rixia gave me some Eastern rice crackers. I'll pass, thank you. Food is the last thing on my mind right now. Oh, Ply. If anything, you could stand to be a little more tense. I cut such a dashing figure in a costume, you'd think it was a sin. I'm sure to gain a whole flock of new fans looking this gallant. We'll see about that. There's another loose thread on your shoulder, by the way. Gah! Where's Corellia? I must speak with Corellia. Some prince you are. All dressed up and ready to go. Time to take this rehearsal by storm. Preparation for tomorrow's evening show begin at 3 p.m. We have the rest of the day before then to ourselves. I was thinking of using my free time to check out the unveiling ceremony. It seems we have company. Well, if it isn't my favorite little guy and his friends. I hope we're not interrupting anything. Not at all. We're happy to have you. And I see Randy has finally returned. Welcome back. Rixia, angelic as always. Just knowing I was in your thoughts makes me one happy man. And so does being up close and personal to you and Ilya in those costumes. Doesn't matter how many times I've seen her before, I can never get enough. Go ahead, Hotshot, suck it in. I appreciate the continued compliments, though admittedly it does make me a bit self-conscious. Randy always does have trouble remembering where a lady's eyes are. The hell are you talking about, Wazzy? Randy Orlando is all about respecting women. In fact, Okay, that's quite enough out of you for one day. Let's just leave it at that. Sorry about that. We're still in the process of housebreaking him. So, are you guys taking a break from rehearsal right now? Something like that. We're doing a bit of fine-tuning for tomorrow's performance. It's a little nerve-wracking, to be honest. Our audience is going to be unlike any we've had before. Indeed, I can hardly believe how many heads of state will be in attendance. Oh, that's right. The dignitaries are coming here. They did mention that during our debriefing back at headquarters. Only the best for Crossbell's guests of honor, it seems. And what better entertainment could we offer than Arkansas? Doesn't take a genius to figure that one out. I can see why you'd be anxious about it. Yes, and from what I can tell, the other members of the troupe feel the same. Save for Ilya and her nerves of steel, of course. What? Worrying over every little thing won't solve your problems, you know. It doesn't matter who my audience is. I'd pour my heart out even if those seats were empty. Oh, my goodness, I can't fathom how you'd manage this level of dedication earlier. As if tomorrow's show wasn't enough, you've also dived headfirst into our upcoming revival production without a trace of fatigue. Revival production? For Golden Sun Silver Moon, correct? It's getting an updated performance? That has been the word on the street. It sounds like there are going to be some striking new additions as well. You better believe it. It was a bit of a challenge to revise what was already a fully completed work, but our goal is to raise the script and staging to a whole new level of perfection. Once the production's original run is closed, we plan on taking a month off to focus on preparing for the revival. I assume that's what you meant when you said things were about to get busy the last time we met. You zoomed right. A whole month of rehearsal, though. That must put a lot of effort into the new changes. Golden Sun Silver Moon is already one of Arkansas's best shows ever. Can't even imagine how insane it's going to be if you're aiming to top it. Yeah, no kidding. Well, it's a challenge I'll gladly take. I'm here to set the stage ablaze, not rest on my laurels. We need to pour our hearts and souls into the place we create to show our wonderful guests the time of their lives. That is what we, the artists of our conceal, were born to do. I don't think there's anyone out there who's as passionate about performing as you, Ilya. I can't wait. You've got me sold. The curtain's not ready to be raised quite yet, but hold on to that enthusiasm. The round production is going to sweep everyone off their feet, even those who already saw the original. There may even be a surprise star amongst our cast. You can bet it's going to be a shocker. A shocker, huh? Now I'm looking forward to it even more. Oh, okay. None of you are who I'm looking for. There you are.
君たちはこんにちは、ニコルさん。ちょっとお尋ねしたいんですが。
Would explain that they had come on behalf of Dr. Salin to collect Nikolai's health survey.
ああ、あの問診票か。最近練習が楽しくて持っていくのをすっかり忘れちゃってたよ。ちょっと待っててくれ。持ってくるからさ。はい、これのことだろう。
はい、確かに。
その様子だと薬の影響もほとんど残ってないみたいですね。
ああ、ちゃんと治療してもらったしね。今思えばなんであんな薬なんかに手を出しちゃったんだろう。確かにあの時は自分の才能のなさに腐ってたりしたけどさ。
そういう心の隙間に狡猾につけ込んでくるのが薬ってやつさ。
ま、それが自覚できたってことはもう何も。
ああ、これからはアルカンシェルのために一層精進していくつもりさ。
舞台楽しみにしてますね。
Alright. Why don't we stop it there? This is audap. You've been watching The Legend of Heroes Trails to Azure running on Nintendo Switch. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.